Today's the day, induction day. I thought he was going to come before, but you're stubborn like your daddy already. Oh goodness, not really sure what to expect, but I feel quite calm and excited, so let's go get this baby out. Hello. Oh my god, it's so weird to look back on those videos, and it's actually like quite emotional because I look drained, so tired, like before anything even happens. I didn't sleep properly for well over a month, if not longer. Lots of complications through my pregnancy and just so worrying. So I was at that point where I was scared, nervous, anxious, but I was just also so ready to meet my baby. So obviously the sweeps didn't end up working. So we got to the hospital and I was put onto a monitor, and they weren't happy with baby's heartbeat. They felt that if they put the pessary in, that it could really upset him because he wasn't passing the test. So it was straight onto a worry. And then we had, oh my God, honestly, I forgot as well, when we got there, I was being passed backwards from like MB1 to Central Delivery Suite, MB1, Central Delivery Suite, and no one wanted me. I'm high risk for more than, I was high risk for more than one thing. So I should have been on CDS, but there was a big mix up. So I was going backwards and forwards. Then I had my monitoring done, and they weren't happy with it. So everyone else around me was having their pessaries put in and talking through their plans for birth, and I was just sat there waiting. Whilst I was waiting, the emergency alarm went off, and being the sensitive soul that I am, I burst into tears, thinking that something had happened to a mum or a baby. Funny story was that it was actually a dad that had passed out in theatre, and someone my partner actually knew. So I was crying over a man passing out. But yeah, so my pessary was ended up being put in at 11:40, and I was going for it. We went straight out for a walk. I was bouncing. I was walking around the ward. Yeah, I went for it.
Just my eye will do.
Just your eye.
Yeah, good.
So I've had the pessary. Is it called a pessary? Pessary.
Yeah.
Put in, and I'm 1 to 2 centimetres and halfway effaced. So now they're just monitoring baby and me. Hopefully it's not too long. Doing your hair. Just going for a little waddle around the hospital. Try and get things moving. Spatula! I look so tired already. Handsome. Say again.
Not long, little man.
At about 4 o'clock, I remember looking at my partner and just saying, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I really thought that because when I had my sweeps, they're like, oh, you're going to go into labour in the next 24 to 48 hours. I'll be so surprised if this doesn't work naturally for you. I don't think you're going to need the induction. I'd thought that if I got to induction, it would happen quickly. So at this point, I'm thinking, oh God, my partner's going to have to go soon. I don't want to be on the ward on my own. Like, I'd been coping really well up to that point of just kind of waiting it out, and we were laughing. Like, my partner is hilarious. So he kept me smiling the whole time while I was like bouncing and trying to help this pessary and hormones work. And literally about 15 minutes after me saying nothing's happening, the surgery started. And they were about 5 to 8 minutes apart. Very quickly they become 3 to 4 minutes apart, and very quickly after that I went from saying, oh, okay, this is a bit painful, to breathing through, very controlled, breathing through. Again, my partner was making me laugh, that quickly transitioned to them becoming quite, I don't want to say painful, because they weren't painful at this point, strong, intense, and I was practicing my hypnobirthing, breathing. My partner joined in. He was amazing. He transitioned from making me laugh and trying to take my mind off it to breathing through.
And here we have this fine specimen as she waddles through the B1 ward. Watch as she tries to hold her excitement and the waters within her bowels.
Been a little much. Been bouncing on my ball. You alright, babe?
It's just getting hooked into my little UFOs. That's a girl, come on. That's it. Turn around, give me the spin. Yeah. That's it. Bucket girl.
At this point, it was coming up for the transition of the midwives to take over from each other. And the midwife that I had was absolutely lovely. And I actually saw her after because I had to go back in for an anti-D. I'm rhesus negative, rare blood type. Another thing to add to it. And she was like, we can really see your contractions outside. They're coming very, very quickly, like 2 to 3 minutes. Felt my stomach. She was like, wow, they're powerful. I really thought she was trying to empower me, but I think with a pessary, induction can be really slow. So for it to have picked up from nothing to that, it was like not, what's the word? Baby brain. Not that common. Yeah, back to your eye again. I've lost my train of thought. About 3 contractions every 10 minutes. They're coming about every 3 minutes, lasting a minute, getting a lot stronger. So yeah. So anyway, they changed midwives and I was checked. And I was really having to breathe for it at this point. Like it was very, very intense. It was becoming painful. I still felt in control. I asked for a paracetamol at this point because I was like, I need to take the edge off. And I was 4 centimetres and my waters were bulging. So the midwife, Jenny, absolutely amazing. She decided to take the pessary out and move me to my own room. She said that if by 1:30 my waters hadn't gone or the baby wasn't here, that she would be breaking my waters. She could do it at that point, but they were aware that I really wanted to do it as naturally as possible. Like, I'd planned a home birth and I was being induced, so I was trying not to have any pain relief. I was trying to not have as much intervention as I could. So respectful of that. So yeah, I had the paracetamol, moved to another room, and oh my gosh, it all ramped up from there. My contractions were coming every minute and a half, sometimes every minute. I was getting no gap to like realign myself. So before I was having the contraction, I was, or surge, I should say, because of hypnobirthing, I was breathing through it, and then I'd have that couple of like 2, 3, 4 minutes to like recoup, realign, and be like, right, you're in control. That stopped, and it become pretty serious. They then came in and said they needed to put a cannula in my hand because people that are induced often need blood. I was like, as I say, a minute apart having contractions. So they're trying to put a cannula in my hand while I'm having contractions. It took 3 attempts. My hands are still 5 days after, especially my right one, absolutely bruised. Like, they are so painful still now. And I was on my ball, but then I wasn't, and I was using the ball to bounce through the contractions, but I wasn't able to bounce because the cannula's being put in. And my breathing techniques were starting to go out the window at this point. But I was like, no, I've got this. Anyway, I got onto the bed to be examined, and I was for 5 centimetres at a stretch. I was like, how is this possible? I've just like, it's all completely ramped up. Like, how am I having contractions every minute? They're this intense. And I've gone from 4 to 5 centimetres, like, or 4 to 5 centimetres. I was like, no, like, this isn't what happened before. And I think that's the problem. I was lulled into such a false sense of security with my first child. I laboured mostly at home. Like, don't get me wrong, the pain was horrific towards the end as well. But I got to the hospital and he was there in 16 minutes and I had no pain relief. So I'm thinking, oh, second babies are easier, they come quicker. And I was just like, what is going on? This is kind of where the footage stops, I think, of what we filmed. We only filmed bits and pieces anyway. It wasn't like a planned, oh, we want to vlog this to put on YouTube. It was kind of like for our memories. But she burst my waters, and I mean, I thought the contractions were intense before, but this was something else. So I did opt for gas and air, which for about 20 minutes, I was like, I felt like I was drunk. It really helped. But again, something just switched, and I was like, probably doing like 4 or 5 breaths on the gas and air, and then completely losing my head, which is not me. Like, I'm very calm, very controlled person. No, I'm going to be real with you. It fucking hurt. I screamed at my partner at one point, get this baby out of me now. And he keeps making jokes like it was like watching a real life exorcism. But in that very, very, very short time, little man ended up coming. I was like, I can feel his head coming down. 3 pushes, his head was out, and then another push and his body was out. Now, my body completely lost it in that last half an hour. My legs were uncontrollably shaking. Like, when I say shaking, I don't mean like that. It was like, I think it was the adrenaline. My body was going through shock. They did offer me an epidural pethidine, and I was like, I don't know. And my partner was fantastic. He was like, remember your plan. Like, you're going to be disappointed if you don't do it. In all honesty, they wouldn't have had time for the pethidine to work or the epidural to have kicked in. I'd have ended up like with it working after the baby was here. So I'm glad that he kept me on my path, but oh, that poor man. So yeah, little man was born at £9.3 at 3:01 on the 21st of January, the 21st year of the 21st century. I mean, that is special. He was absolutely fine. He's like amazing. I'm so in love. And do you know what? If you'd asked me straight after the birth, I would have been like, I'm done having babies. I'm already like 4 days after, like, I would do that again if it meant having another little human like this. Yeah. Afterwards, they checked me. Luckily, my fairy is intact. I did get a graze right near my, what's it called? I can't think of the word. Like, where are we? They put a stitch in. And then I had to have more blood taken to test the placenta versus my blood because of my rare blood type. Obviously deliver the placenta. It was all crazy. So I just kind of wanted to film this for my memories. I've written a little blog post as well, which is probably more articulate than me rambling while I just sit here chilling. But I wanted to put these little clips together. I mean, the end now is going to be nothing. I think I'll probably just put some videos of me and little man on the ward and yeah, how he's doing now. But I recorded so many videos when I had Jacob. I was writing my blog posts regularly, so I'm not promising that it's going to be a regular thing. It might turn out to be, especially as we're in lockdown. I mean, I don't know what people would want to see, but I want to create something special, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sure I've rambled and it's probably really long, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, thank you for watching, and Lucas, I love you.